Hi. Oh. Hmm. Let's let a few more people come into the room. And if you guys are not watching this live and you're on the replay gang, going ahead and check the description box to see what time the video is going to start. I just want to get some more people in the room. So come on in. I'll put myself on mute. Hi, Vicky Vale. Hi, Amaya. I'm going to put myself on mute. So, hi, Raven. Real quick, somebody just FaceTimed me. I'm going to FaceTime them back. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Tisha. Hi, Ramsterdam. Hi, Calandra. Hello. Ready to talk about Love After Lockup, you guys? Hi, Jana. I'm trying to figure out my internet. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I have premium internet service, and every time it feels like it's not premium. I don't feel like this is giving us premium right now. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I'm gonna go on mute. I'll be back. Tell everybody when people come in the room, be like, why isn't she talking? Why can't I hear her? Tell them she's on mute. She'll be back. Okay. Yes, Tiffany, thank you. Give us a thumbs up. Oh, you know what I didn't do is I didn't put my, oh yeah, this is about to get fuzzy. I didn't put my pictures in here. So, normally I do Ethernet, but now that I'm traveling, I'm in landline. Hi, Gazelle. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Let me upload all my pictures. So it's definitely gonna get a little like grainy with the internet. You're welcome. You're so welcome, you guys. I know. I just so happy to see that picture of Sean, and you're welcome. Okay, y'all tell me who we should start with. It should be somebody who wasn't that interesting because there's only 26 people in the room. Hi, Beastmaster. Christiana. That's what I was thinking too. Hi, Jasmine. It's Baba Binky. Baby Blanket. No, it's Baba Baby Binky Blanket. You're welcome, Madi Madi. You are welcome. I want to get started and like there should be at least 40 people in the room. Thanks, Jasmine. I needed a mug because I have a 3-week stay here. And also it's very fitting because it is cold outside. It's raining here. It's only gonna get colder. And I didn't like, how are you supposed to drink tea if you don't have a mug? So I had to go to Walmart and buy the cheapest mug. And this was the cheapest one. And I love it. It's a nice size. And it's like this part is hot, right? I'm holding it. My hands are hot, but this part is normal. So I like that about it. It's not too thick. So you guys are gonna laugh at me when I tell you what the temperature is, but I haven't been in weather in a very long time. So for me, it's like any excuse to get it. Right now, it's 46 degrees, but it's raining. So it's light rain. The sunset is I forget on the East Coast, like during winter, the sun sets at 4:30, which is like bananas to me. I mean, the sun sets early on the West Coast too, but like it'll start to go like at the earliest 5:30, but here 4:30. That's like still afternoon. In New York, it's 57 degrees, but I'm up here, so it's 45. And then it's gonna get like snow. It's gonna get cold on Monday and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday is gonna be 39 as the highest. And 32 is freezing Fahrenheit. Next Saturday, though, super cold. And next Saturday is when I'm doing something super fun. I had one of my silent subscribers. She reached out to me, and she is Mohawk, and she invited me to the Mohawk territory up in here in Quebec. I'm so excited to go, and she works at a tea shop. Come on now. So I'm like excited to buy like souvenirs and support like the Mohawk community financially, with little I can, and then like learn a little history and culture. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah. Montreal has been great. I just feel bad that I don't speak French, and I've had several people tell me, like, "Oh, you don't speak French?" Oh, and I'm like, "No," and they're like, "Oh, it'd be better if you did because most people they prefer if you at least try or learn a little bit of French," and I'm like, "Okay." I can't give you that because French has just never been on my radar as like a language to learn. Um, so I don't feel bad about it, but I just feel bad about the situation. I wasn't given enough time before traveling here to like even begin to learn French. So So I'm worried a little bit that I'm going to receive like people not wanting. And this is not about the Mohawk Nation. Let me be clear. I've now switched my thoughts to just regular Quebec. I just don't want to be treated poorly because people are like sneering at me because I don't speak French. Like that's my worry, is that that's going to happen and people are going to be really like, oh, she's not even trying to speak French. And it's like, no, I just didn't get enough notice. Oh, we're at 41 people now. Okay, let's get started. What time is it? We're like 12 minutes. Let's start it in exactly 13 minutes in. That way I know where to put the timestamp. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, Season 3, Episode 56. I don't love you anymore, or I'm not in love anymore, or something like that, girl. I don't know. So this was an okay episode. It was alright. It wasn't anything to scream about. So I would like for you guys to let me know who we should talk about first. I got one vote for, what'd you say, Vicky? Oh, John and Christiana, which is, I think, a good choice. I want to go first with that because I think they're the least, they're interesting, but you know, people need to get into the room. Yazel, I agree with you. I'm learning French on Duolingo because I've heard that in France, they prefer people to speak French, which is a great assumption. I just am like, I know that in the States, when people come to the States and don't learn any English, there are Americans who will turn their nose up and be rude if you don't try to learn any English. But I'm not one of those Americans. Like, I don't care if you come here and you don't speak the language. Like, unless your language barrier is stopping me from getting what I want. And usually that's not the case, especially as somebody who worked in retail in this country, and as somebody who is like basically in customer service in this country. Like, you're not stopping me from getting whatever I want. Now, the other way around, it's unfortunate that I don't want anything to happen to me because people think that I'm like a dumb American who needs to learn the language. It's not, in fact, the case. I'm not on vacation, you know. So I didn't make a choice to come here and then not learn the language. I made a choice to come here, but you know. Okay. And as always, if you guys would like to join the convo, you can go ahead and email me at that. Je m'appelle Wa. Thank you. I just feel like that's going to get them to think I do speak it. So I'm like, I have a couple things in my translator app that I'm willing and ready to use at any moment. Also, if you guys are interested in dropping a tip, you can down below at PayPal, Zelle, or Cash App. I am noticing that some of my international, non-Americas folk don't have access to maybe Zelle, Cash App, or the other thing, PayPal, and they're asking me to put on super chats. But if I put on super chats, then the people who are able to use Cash App, Zelle, and PayPal will use super chats, and I don't want super chats. So thank you so much for the sentiment. Thank you for wanting to drop a tip, but unfortunately at this time, I will not be able to accept it. So I don't know if there's any other way. I don't know if there's like a WhatsApp way, but then I would have to give you my WhatsApp number, and like then you'd have my number, and then it's like, ooh, you know. I don't know if any other way. So if you find one, you tell me. Okay. I think all that's the things. Let's see. What did Clementine say? I'm French, and I experienced people telling me to speak better English in the US when I was just a teen. That is rude. See, Americans are rude. And so I don't want them to think that I'm coming here being a rude American. I'm not. I just, was like, oh, I'll go to Quebec. And then they were like, do you speak French? And I was like, no. And they're like, okay, you can't go. But then they got so desperate. They were like, okay, go to Quebec. And I was like, cool. And like the little French that I'm trying to learn, every time I say it, they're like, nope, that's not it. It. I'm like, oh gosh. So, I'm just like, every time I think to say something, I always think of it in Spanish. Like I wanted to say mucho. I was like, mucho. Oh no, it's not mucho gusto. It's, I was like, oui. And like even now, like I'm not in front of anybody and I'm sweating. because I don't know the word. What is it? Bonjour and parlez-vous français? Parlez-vous anglais? And then maybe some pardonnez-moi, and then maybe some mon ami, and then a little bit of, you know, nonsense that doesn't help anybody. Okay. Nonsense that doesn't help not a soul in the world. So I just go, "Do you speak English?" And then they say yes. Or if they say no, then I'm like, "Here, I got a translator app, girl. I'm not shy to use it." All right, let's start. Let's start because Vicky Vale was the only person who gave me merci beaucoup. Oh, thank you. I forget about that one all the time. Merci beaucoup, mon ami. Okay, because let's start with Christiana and John. Okay, so this was a sad one. This was a sad one, y'all. This was a sad one. So Christiana's mother is ill. After the wedding, it's been okay. Let me set the scene. Scene. John in his front yard with a vacuum cleaner, sucking water out of a dirty pond. Next scene. John futzing around this dirty pond and hooking up his truck to it and pulling it out of the thing. Third scene, John saying that the reason why he wants a koi pond is because he did it for his wife. It's to represent him caging her or something. And then in the confessionals, she's like, "I don't get it." And he's like, "You don't get it? It's because like you're my wife and I'm trying to like cage you in and like, love on you and such." I'm like, what? So then the next scene we have is set the scene. Christiane. "I got to get ready for work. But first, she calls her mother." We find out that it's been a few months since the wedding and she hasn't heard her hair, no her. I don't know the term. She hasn't heard anything from her sister Tara, okay? Tara is MIA. And it turns out that her mother, Tammy, has lung cancer. And so Tammy is now in a facility and Christiana is having to be strong to support her mother. And apparently she has a job. She didn't tell us what job she had, but she's getting ready for work and she talks to her mama a little bit. Mama's in a facility where she's undergoing chemotherapy and she's being taken care of. And so that's really, really nice to hear. But Christiana is still very worried because she's now got to do this all on her own. Like she's sober, but these are the things that she never really had to manage as somebody who was addicted. Like her mother was the one that was being strong in the family and holding everything together, and now she has to do so. So it's a lot of pressure on her shoulders, and it's hard with her sobriety. So later on in their segment, we see that Mama is getting ready to visit with Christiana and John outside. Mama has got her caramel wig, and it's one of the only wigs that fits her. It's a headband wig. And listen, I wasn't mad at it. I was not mad at it. She was looking cute. Okay. I wasn't mad at that wig. It's the wig that I wish that Lisa had, because Lisa is snatched out all of her edges, girl. And I feel bad because I'm like, as a Black woman, we all know about the snatched edges, but whatever Lisa got on her hair, it snatched all her edges up. Okay. But anyways, we'll get to Lisa and Stan later. So then we have John and Christiane hanging out with Mother on like a, outside. Weather seems to be nice. John says that this situation is hard for him because he is a fixer. He is somebody who wants to help, people and like, I guess, fix them. And I can definitely tell that by him being with Christiana and like really wanting to take care of her and help her get off the drugs and whatnot. I definitely that fits his profile. He says in this case, this is something that he's unable to fix. He is unable to fix, and it's really, really difficult for him. And he feels bad because there's nothing that, he can do. So then we've got, they asked John to kind of scoot away while they have some alone time. And so he does. And when he scoots away, Mama and Christiana have a conversation, and we see that Mama is completely bald. I did not do a screen grab of how long her hair was prior to this, but she had hair all the way down her back, like thick, not salt and pepper, but like blonde and salt hair going all down her back, and now she has no hair at all. And her face is completely done. She's got her hoops on. And really, here's the truth: hoops make everybody look amazing. I mean, I know most people aren't into hoops, but there's different levels. You can wear a small hoop, you can wear a big hoop. You know what I'm saying? But hoops make everybody look great. And so when I see a woman with hoops on, I'm like, she's got it going on. She knows what's up. Okay. Look at Christiana, her hoops too. Hoops just make everything look better. So, anyways, I grabbed this shot of her mother, and I know she's crying in this picture, but all I was like, I wear every single chain, even when I'm in the house. Like, for whatever reason, something in my heart goes out to any woman who's got her nails did and every single ring she owns on her fingers. I wish that I could wear every single ring on my finger, but my fingers are so fat, and I just have not been able to truly like invest in rings the way I want to. And I'm just like, look at this hand. Look at this woman's beautiful, classy hands. And she's got on some blue lashes. I thought she actually looked really cute throughout this. And for somebody who is in pain a lot and is going through chemotherapy, I appreciate her putting herself together for the cameras. That's me. I always appreciate a good looking, a good put together for the cameras. And Tammy has always given us that. And I wish her all the best. I wish her a speedy recovery. She's only 56 years old. So hopefully they caught it stage 1, stage 2, and that she's able to bounce back. She was already having some lung issues prior to. So I just really hope all the best for Tammy. And all the best for Christiana, because I think, unfortunately, this is like a thing that could really mess up her sobriety if anything bad were to happen. And I just wish all the best. Like, nothing snarky and crazy to say on for these guys this episode. Just all the positivity, all the wishing of the bests. Okay, so next couple that we are going to talk about. Oh, look, here we go. I understand she's going through a lot, but I'm glad that she still keeps up looking good. Her nails are fly, honey. That's exactly the way I feel too. Hi, Shannon Van. Welcome. Yeah, I'm sorry. She's 58. Yes. Not 56. So Christiana is 36, and her mother is, in my mind, was 22 years older than that. So yes. Yeah. You can go through a lot. I feel like this woman, she's been through a lot. Whew. Hi, Joseph. Welcome to the room. Vicky Vale says, now that I'm sober 5 years, I'm still learning how to experience pain and stress as a sober person, and it's hard. When things go wrong, I panic because I used to drink to deal. Yeah, and that's why I worry about Christiana, because I'm like, this is like it's kind of compounding. You know what I'm saying? Like this stuff is happening to her in levels. Her sister is like gone off the rails and isn't contacting her. And I truly don't believe that anything that John could have possibly said would stop Tara from some meeting with her sister. It could possibly be that Tara is just like, I'm messed up right now. My sister's doing well in her sobriety. Like, maybe if I'm not there, then I'm not going to add any more stress and chaos to the family. And I'm not ready to be sober. I'm not there yet. And maybe she does feel some kind of way with like trying to be with John. This is a sticky situation. So I get it. Whew. Yeah, I do agree. Thankfully, John seems to really good support for her. As much as he reminds me of Joe Dirt, he clearly has much love for these women. And I agree. Okay. Next person we're going to talk about, who else was, let's talk about these two. So it's after their the club, after the party, we have got, let me take this down, this banner. Let's take this down. Yeah. We've got Puppy taking Amber into the house, and Amber is drunk and she's feeling good. She's feeling like this is the perfect opportunity for her to hit on her friend. And Puppy's handling like a champ, though. I really do appreciate Puppy's whole situation with this. So Puppy gets her in the house. Puppy puts on her pajamas, and Amber's like, "Give me kisses, give me kisses, kiss, 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 kitty, 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 kitty." And Puppy's like, "No, girl, I'm good. You're good. I'm good. We're leaving." I think Puppy looks so cute here, and she's like, "Good night, bitch. Have a good night, ho." And Amber's like, "Good night." And then Puppy gets home. Which, listen, girl, was Puppy fit to drive? Producers let Puppy drive, or did they just do that scene of her getting out of the car? I hope they didn't let her drive. I hope they didn't let her drive. Anyways, Puppy gets home and she's like, "Hey, babe, this man looks like he's been through it. Like, he just looks tired." And he's like, "Yeah, Amber got really drunk and then she started on me with that gay shit," or something like that. Something where I was like, "But wait, aren't you? We don't say it like that." I don't know. It was weird. The way she said it, like she was outside of her queerness. And I'm like, "Girl, come on, you part of the community." And so then he gets a little bit like, didn't he say the last time, "It makes me sick to my stomach thinking of Puppy and Amber together"? And I said, "Why does it make you sick to your stomach? Like, is it because you really don't want to lose Puppy and you think she's cheating on you with Amber? She was doing good." So I don't know. I guess I'm just all for Puppy and Amber's relationship over any relationships that they have with men, especially if the relationships with those men are toxic. Like, I'm just like, I'd rather her be with Amber, even though her and Amber are kind of toxic too, but like still. I think I'm in, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm in like, I don't know. Am I like, "Boo, men, boo, get on my nerves"? Anyways, maybe a little bit. So he's angry about that, but they don't go too much into it. And that's really all that we hear from them in this episode. Okay, let's see who else. Oh, let's go to these fools. So the next couple that we're going to talk about is Shane and Lacy. So Lacy's up to her same old shenanigans as always. As always. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back. Someone, hold on. I'm now looking at let's go back. Let's talk about this. I get where he's coming from. Tell us, Dia Allen. Tell us more. What do you mean you get where he's coming from? Why it would make him sick to his stomach? Joseph Felton, I do agree. Amber is wrong as hell. She's wrong. She is wrong. He kind of creeps me out. The boyfriend, he does creep me out. Tell us more, friend. Tell us more. Why do you get where he's coming from? I could see the sick to the stomach coming from the thought of his girl cheating on him. Yes. That's what I thought too. And then I was like, okay. But for me, I just don't believe their relationship, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know. I just feel like he thinks of Pup as like a possession and not a girlfriend. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, and I'm fine. That might be me. Let's move on. We don't got to talk about it. Okay, so let's get to these two fools. So they're in the car and they are going to the counseling session, and he's like, "Well, I know." Let me go to get to my notes. Okay. So they go to marriage counseling, and after the polygraph results, he's like, "Well, I know I didn't pass, but I didn't do that bad." And she's like, "You failed. You failed." And he's like, "Okay." So they get there and they're sitting in front of this counselor, this marriage counselor, Emily. And Emily immediately tells Shane that he's aggressive when he gets upset. And for some reason, I didn't like that. I don't know. It didn't feel professional to me. Like, I don't like it when like people are being passionate and all of a sudden we're telling them that they're being aggressive. Because yes, there are times when I do think people are being aggressive, but I guess I have a higher threshold or tolerance for it. And not that I even grew up in a house where people were constantly yelling in my face, but like, I guess that, like, in that moment when he's in the counselor's office, to me, it's supposed to be a safe place. And I don't feel like that counselor made it a safe space by calling him aggressive and being like, see right now, you see how you're being? Like, this is aggressive and it's scary. And I'm like, to whom? Who's scared? And Lacey's over there like, I'm like, Lacy, your dad has probably yelled at you just as hard. Like, what are you talking about? It's scary. You've come and attacked Shane, like you physically assaulted Shane. Also, like, you and John have been yelling at each other. So like, don't sit up there and act like this is not a part of your daily life. Like, I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was a safe. I feel like she was on Lacey's side the whole time. I didn't feel like it was neutral, and I felt like it was real. Like, you're being aggressive. Mm. And here's the truth. I think my background is that, and this is crazy. This has nothing to do with this, but this is my experience with some therapists. I had a good friends who were married, and I'm not saying I know how everybody behaves behind closed doors, but I'm a really good judge of character. And my friend, her therapist told her that her husband, who was also my friend, was being abusive because he didn't do certain things that she asked him to do. And she then took those words to him, to his face, and said, my therapist said that you were being abusive. And after that, it was never the same again. They ended up divorcing. And it was because, and the thing though, it was like something about him not putting the shower head back. Like it was something like his actions, like when she wanted him to like put the shower in a certain way, or like maybe squeegee down the shower after he was done showering, and he would forget to because that was something he never did growing up. And so the therapist told her, and this is her word, so we don't know what the actual therapist actually said. Therapist told her that he was abusive with that. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Be careful who you're calling abusive, right? Um, be careful who you're calling abusive. Okay, be careful how you use that word. And like that to me is what was happening in this moment. So, anyways, that's just why I'm like, sometimes these therapists be saying stuff, and like until we as a society have decided or have come to a consensus that not squeegeeing down the shower is considered abusive behavior, like we can't just throw that term around. Like, yes, there are some terms that where you're like, this is abuse, and as a society we may all not agree on it, but those of us who can like think about the trauma it could possibly incur go, okay, yes, I could see how that behavior is abusive. But not cleaning out the shower or moving the shower head or whatever the hell he needed to do that caused her to be upset. Like the truth is that the reason why their marriage wasn't working is because she married somebody who wasn't in his power as a man. And during their marriage, he started to find his power as a man. And it had nothing to do with her. And she could no longer just tell him to do stuff and have him kind of simper behind her as a wimp. Like he started to stand up and say like, no, I don't want to do that. And so that's why their marriage dissolved, because he turned into a different person for the better, in my opinion. But for her, it wasn't, because she wanted to stay with a simp and a wimp. Like, and she couldn't find the power in his like whatever, in his masculinity that he was just barely finding. And it's, I get it. But to tell him he's abusive, absolutely not. Did she knock on my door? No. Okay. So, anyways, I didn't like that. So the next thing that Lacy ends up saying, which I found to be super, super poignant and made a very good point, is that Lacy said that she felt basically abandoned by Shane because she didn't want any more kids. And he did. And first of all, their relationship was built on a foundation of lies and drama. But when they decided to get married, they decided to like sweep all that underneath the rug and move forward with their relationship. And he really wanted a baby. She wasn't able to naturally. So they went through in vitro fertilization. Now, as somebody who is planning on going through this process, It is a lot to go through. It is a very intentional process, depending on your insurance, which I Lacey's a cam girl, so I don't think she has insurance. So she probably paid 20K out of pocket for this at the most. I don't know what the dealings were. You have to shoot yourself up with hormones. Like, it's a process. And on top of that, they had triplets and she lost two kids in vitro. And so Summer was like the miracle child out of this situation, which I'm sure was a lot on Lacey, as well as a lot on Shane, but she's the one who had to go through it because he's only 23. I forget Shane is only 23 years old, and she did all of this for him. I think she's in her 30s. No, I don't know how old she is, but like, my thing is like, okay, let me finish. So then went through this entire like intentional process, and then when the baby was born, because he didn't have a job and he was feeling less than as a man. Like, in the beginning, they made it seem like, oh, okay, he had to quit his job because he had to take care of Lacey and the complications afterwards. And then that made him depressed. But then it's like, which was it? Did you lose your job and then you had to take care of her? Like, what was it? What was it going? But anyways, he went through a depression. And during that depression, he didn't want to, the baby crying got on his nerves. He didn't want to hold the baby. He didn't want to change the baby. He didn't want to feed the baby. And so she's like, I went into this situation. I didn't want another kid, but I did it for him because he's my husband and I loved him. We went through this whole process. Then the baby comes and he doesn't want anything to do with the baby. It feels like he abandoned me. It feels like he completely let me down and he hurt me. And I'm so disappointed. And I'm not in love with him. I don't want to be around him anymore. Like, I don't want any of this. And I've never felt something so much in my soul than in that moment. And I was like, you know what, Lacy? I 100% understand where you're coming from. I 100% understand where you're coming from. Now, they did show clips of him getting mad, like their second season or their first season, and him like throwing a beer bottle against the refrigerator. That behavior is 100% unacceptable. So if he was still exhibiting that kind of anger issues and like getting upset and doing all this stuff, I 100% see her and understand her like fear or frustration with him, especially because he has said numerous times that he's going to change that behavior. But honestly, until he goes through some therapy himself and learns to manage his own emotions, then he's not, I mean, he's not too young to be able to turn it all around, but he's young enough to think he's old, that where he's a grown-ass man, but also when he's not, but also he's young enough to still be going through a lot of the traumas that he had as a teenager, right? Think about it. River and Shane are the exact same age, and Shane has married a grown-ass woman straight out of prison, convinced her to have another kid. They have this another kid, and he doesn't even want to be around her or the baby, and it doesn't want to have sex with her. Like, I 100% see where Lacey's coming from in this. So Shane was saying that he knew that the situation was bad, but he didn't realize how bad it was. And now he's going to do everything to make it better and, you know, change himself. But I'm like, changing yourself is not that easy, bro. You really are going to have to go get some therapy. That's not something you can do within yourself, honestly. You need help. And so he says he's going to do it, and she's like, listen, I don't believe it. Actions speak louder to the words. And like, I know I've seen like video of, like, spoiler alert, her and John like making out or whatever. And now, while Lacy goes about this the wrong way and she's absolutely messy in her own right, like, I could see her not wanting to be with Shane. Like, how, like, whenever you hear of like situations like this where it's like, oh, she should have stayed, she should have like held down her man. Should she have? Should she? Especially because Lacey's an independent woman. She could leave him at any time. She doesn't need him. She doesn't need his income. What income? She does not need a man, which I'm so happy for. The only man she needs is her dad to help her watch those kids. But she don't need a man. So like, if this man is going to be causing her trouble and not going to be doing the things that he needs to do in order to take care of her and family, then like, he could go and she'll raise this baby on her own. And I feel her. Anyways, let's see what the comments are saying. Ooh, Vicky Vale, what? I read that he got arrested for killing her dog recently. His anger hasn't. He killed an animal on purpose? Animal. Hormones are so difficult to deal with, and it's super stressful during IVF and postpartum as well. Yep. Oh, she's maybe 34 or something like that. Oof. Oof. Thank you, Linda B. John said Shane and Lacy was probably the therapist's last appointment for the day, and she was just trying to rush through it and didn't handle the session professional enough. Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Hi, Etta. Venus. This young man is the victim of some of the worst hairdos or hair don'ts ever. Whew, girl. I think that she pushed him to front of OnlyFans, and then he started doing it behind her back and keeping the money, and that's why she's making him look gay and down low. He doesn't want to out her. Yeah, I don't like that storyline either. I don't like that, like, and I don't trust him because I don't know his intentions. I'm like, this man is not like, I mean, not that you know that, but like, I don't know, just weird to me. Like when I get weird when I feel like it's underlining homophobia. Like he can flirt with women, but he can't flirt with men. Why? What does that mean? Maybe the men pay more. Because when she said that he was only flirting with the men, not the women, I was like, maybe the men pay more. Oh, Shan, I just said this. Okay, let everybody look at the screen. Let me explain to you again about the super chats. I don't do super chats because YouTube takes 30%. And after doing some of the math, the arithmetic, and looking at the my like Google sense at the end of it, like it wasn't worth it. I felt like I wasn't even seeing it at all in the end results. So I took it off because I it just no. YouTube is not going to get 30% of your tips to me. Like that's stupid. Um, so I was like, if you would like to give, you could do so with Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, and yeah, those three, which are scrolling down the bottom of the thing. Now I understand that international folks, so maybe Shan, if you guys in Canada don't have Venmo or Cash App, I don't know, or Zelle or PayPal, then unfortunately you won't be able to do so. You won't be able to give. And I appreciate you wanting to give, but you can't give unless I can figure out a way, if there's a way to do it like through Apple Pay or there's a way to do it through like WhatsApp. I have no idea. But yeah, you guys won't be able to give a tip. Yeah. And so I used to put it in the chat at the top, but it's a long explanation. So that's why I don't do so. So a lot of the like European folks are like, I don't see the super chat. And I'm like, you can't give a super chat, which is why I have the thing scrolling down the bottom. Maybe I should put, you can't give a super chat. I'll add that at the bottom. Super chats are disabled. Please give via, and I'll do that. And that's the reason why. Thanks, Mac Reviews. I appreciate it. You can do cryptocurrency. How? YouTube acting like a whole pimp. Yeah, YouTube know we lazy. No more super chats. Yeah, I wish I knew about the 30% from the beginning. Yeah. Vicky Bell says, sometimes I want to hop online and catfish and pretend I'm a cute gay man and get some money. Me too. I wish that I could. I wish that I could. These people be out here making money. Love that color and that turtleneck. Thank you. Old Navy, which means that everything is short on me because Old Navy is not made for people with long arms. But, all I need to do is get me some bracelets to cover it up. Long arm, long limb tricks. We can do PayPal here in Canada, so I'll do that. Yeah, maybe just on the bottom scroll trick and let us know because a lot of YouTubers have super chat and the message at the bottom. Oh yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Let's do that. What is this? Let's edit. No super chat disabled. Super chat disabled. Great. Do I even have PayPal on there? I probably don't. I do. Okay, great. Let's move on. Am I done with them? Yeah. So I really do hope, I always say at the end, I hope the best for everybody, but I always do. I really am grateful for them providing us this entertainment. Okay. The next couple that we are going to talk about, let's talk about Stan and Lisa just real quick because I got some shots of Stan. Did I download them? I hope I did. So in this segment with Stan and Lisa, let me bring out my notes because I wrote some stuff down. So Lisa confronts Stan about Jasmine, the catfish that she created. And Stan is like, I don't believe I know who you're talking about. Like, I don't think I know who you're talking about. Who are you talking about? Like, he's, all of a sudden doesn't know who Jasmine is, when it is he started talking to Jasmine. And we know for a fact that he was coming back from the pond contemplating his wife and his relationship with her when he first started talking to Jasmine. Okay. And so Stan is going to say that he doesn't know when he started talking to Jasmine and that when he started talking to Jasmine, they were broken up. And she was like, how are you broken up with me? All my stuff is still in your house. Like, we weren't broken up. And he's like, well, I thought we were on a break. And she's like, no, you didn't. You did not think that. And even so, like, you don't even wait like a week before you start macking on the next bitch, which I thought was a great line. Macking on the next bitch. Takes me back to my childhood. Takes me back. So she was like, and he was like, what are you talking about? There's no time limit. Like, if you break up with somebody, you should be able to get back in the saddle the next day. And she's like, well, that shows you didn't really love me. And he's just like, when you are broken up with someone, you can't procrastinate. Okay, you got to jump on the next fish in the pond because there are plenty of them in the sea. So, in order to not procrastinate, he felt like it was appropriate for him to just start talking to somebody else or like put those feelers out there because he's just trying to say he's only talking to his ex Tina, but he's not talking to anybody else. And so Lisa's just like, no. So Lisa's like, you know what? Since I got out, he has done a lot for me. I've got about $3,500. So I'm just going to go stay in a hotel. And, I'm done with this guy. So now she's done with Renata because Renata got upset because Renata didn't want to pretend to be Jasmine. And now she's leaving Sean. She's just like, Stan. And Stan is like, I feel like messing with Lisa, I've missed out on opportunities. Like he's treating, honestly, like dating and finding these women like stock market options. Like he's really like all about the next move and getting the best price and making the most money and getting the best bang for your buck. And she's like, the reason why you were mad at me is because I didn't want to strap you up. That's why you were mad. And I just don't like his boomer attitude. Okay? I don't like it. Then look at him. Just a hanging in that thing. just hanging in it. And poor Lisa, just all of her edges are gone. Just gone. The edges are gone, you guys. The edges are gone. Clementine says, Clementine says, why are they still talking about love? This relationship is not about love. This is a mutually beneficial agreement about money and sex. I get it. Yes, I heard that too, Giselle. He does have a new woman his age. It's all over Instagram. Something was fishy about that because she didn't call out the fact that he was messaging with that woman after he picked her up from the hotel. Yep. Procrastinate killed me, is what he did say. You can't procrastinate. And I said, what is a procrastinate? Is what I wanted to know. Everyone keeps saying this. Everyone keeps saying this. I just noticed that Stan is actually thick. Someone sent me a screenshot of everybody saying that this man was thick, and I don't understand it either. This is what I feel. This is what happens. So here's what happens on YouTube. What happens on YouTube is that there are several of us who review this show. Okay. One of us who reviews this show said that Stan was thick and then had a whole conversation about it. Now everyone's coming to not everyone, two people are coming to my channel and saying Stan is thick, and I don't agree. Now I don't know who started the Stan is thick conversation. I don't understand where we're coming from with this. This man is not thick. Okay? Jasmine, was it you? Was this a conversation on somebody else's channel where y'all was talking about how thick Stan is? Because you're not the only person who came to me and said this. Hi, Marcia. Love you, girl. What are you talking about? Stan is thick. Stan is not thick. Or is this what you're seeing as thick? You think this is thick? You're like, oh, look at that thickums. Is this too? You're like, oh, look at that thickums. I mean, look at he has decent legs. Okay. And like that belt is cutting right below his gluteus maximus. So it is giving us a little something. But I don't know when he's like walking around like regular if I would refer to this man as being thick. It was Nikki. I knew it was somebody. I knew it. Here's the thing. This is just a side note. Wow. He is thick. What's your definition of thick? Because he is. Oh my God. But I see it everywhere. Oh, it was his first underwear scene with the bulge and the thighs. He has a juicy booty for a man of his age. It's true. Meaty thighs, I guess. Stan has thick thighs, baby. He has a booty for a guy. You know what? You know what? Here it is. The truth is that I knew that somebody else had been saying this. I didn't hear Nikki say this, but whenever a bunch of people, in fact, here's another truth. So a lot of times I go around and I watch videos, and I don't watch them all the time. I'm not dedicated to them every single moment, right? But I do go around and watch and see after I've already put up my review, like what everybody is saying. And sometimes I'm in the comment section, sometimes I'm watching it and it's alive and I'm looking through the chat to see what you guys are saying. And sometimes commenters steal jokes from other videos and then come to this video and say it to me. And then I'm like, oh, that was really funny. And then I'm just like perusing around, minding my own business. And I see that someone else made that joke and they just kind of stole the joke and they brought it over to this channel and they said it to me. And of course I laughed because it was an actual funny joke. And I'm like, so people be stealing other folks' jokes, right? So sometimes when I see the same things rolling over and over again, I'm like, oh, someone must have said it. And this must have been a conversation in somebody else's video, because that's why all of a sudden it's happening. But now I get it. It's because Nikki said it and y'all were in there and y'all agreed with her. And I think that I'm gonna have to just be like, Stan is giving James Norman sweetie pie thighs. Oh my god. I think he is too, not hot thick, but thick for a white dude. Like Restitution Ray. If someone's saying that, I've never heard Restitution Ray yet, but like, oh, welcome to the live. Okay, what did Mac Review say? It's layers of thickness though. He's in the low end, but yeah. Okay, that's fine. I will accept this. To be fair, it was Nikki's subs that pointed it out to her at first. She didn't fully agree with us at the beginning. No, never heard of Nikki. Just think he's just thick, for real, for real. Y'all are funny. But anyways, that's how I knew that something was up, because everybody was like, Stan is thick. I'm like, what? Okay, does this picture show him having a little bit of bootay? Yes. Are his legs, not spindly and old? Correct. But I don't know if I would go so far as to say that he's thick. But my opinion could change. I've got a little tickle in my throat. This is like leaving a ring on this. Condensation. I don't like it. Anyways, so let's get back to it. So she comes off the thing and says that, like, I shouldn't have to have this conversation with you. We shouldn't have to kind of outline our relationship at every moment. And so at this point, I think that we should take a break, and I'm going to go on ahead and move out. And he's just like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then he's like, at the end, he's like, I don't know what our relationship is now. And I'm like, it's very clear. Your relationship is over. She doesn't want it because he's a liar. He can't even be honest. And I think what it is that Lisa doesn't want to be blindsided and just kicked out of the house one day because he's decided to move on and didn't like tell her, because that seems like the kind of person that he is that he'll deal with her as long as she's doing what he wants her to do. But as soon as she doesn't do what he wants her to do, he will start to fish around and look for other women. And I wouldn't be surprised as if that one day he decided, after the third no, of her not wanting to tie him up and do that shit. I mean, I feel like that's got to take a lot of energy, right? Like, how many times a week does he want her to strap her in? Like, unless she's actually getting paid a dominatrix fee, like, that's a lot of hard work, strapping a dude in, doing all that stuff, being sexual. Like, and if she doesn't like the person and the person isn't giving her the money the way she wants to, like, maybe she's not into it. Oh, Shan said, just sent Nikki a DM and asked her to jump in over here. LOL. Yeah, she can come on over here. She can come on over here. JW says, I don't watch Nikki, but saw it while he was sitting on the park bench. You should watch Nikki. She's great. Since we seem to watch the same channels, you are going to love her. She's great, Ramsterdam. Oh, yeah. Ramsterdam, you should do. Go ahead and Google Nikki Star TV. She good peeps. She good peoples. And she's a slightly different view of mine too. So we're different. Okay. So yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So it's a lot, right? So like, I've heard of these women who do the like dominatrix work. They get paid like $500 an hour or something. They get paid a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work that goes into the discipline. It's a lot of work that goes into it's a lot of work in general. Oh, hi Nikki. She's here, everyone. She's here. Her name is Nikki Star TV. Please go and check her out on her channel, Nikki Star TV. So Nikki, this is what had happened. We was talking, and every single time I put up a picture of Stan, someone's in the last 2 videos, someone has been like, Stan is thick. Stan is thick. And I'm like, Stan is not thick. What are you guys talking about? Right? So today I outed everybody and I said, you know what? Y'all got that from someone's channel. Okay. Like, and not everybody is just over here talking about this man is thick. Okay. Where did y'all get it from? And someone was like, we got it because we were talking about it in Nikki's video. And at first, Nikki didn't agree with us. And then we finally got her on the bandwagon. And I said, okay, that's what's going on. Have you ever noticed that, Nikki, that you can, I don't know, for me, I can tell when like this conversation has been had before and people are just now coming to my channel telling me, and I'm like, what? And so here were the pictures that I was like, okay, I could see where y'all are coming from, whomever. I don't know that I would call this man thick. And then someone was like, oh, it was the scene where he was in his underwear. And I do recall you referring to his underwear as his panties. And you were like, this man is somebody's grandpa walking around in his panties, which I thought was hilarious. So anyway, so we were just having a conversation about this man being thick. And so that's where that stemmed from. So I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. It's so funny. But let me finish the segment. So, anyways, you guys, she's not getting paid the money that a real dominatrix will get paid. So I think what she's fearful of is that she's doing this situation and he's not paying her the way he should be paying her for her services. And sometimes she wants to say no, but she can't walk away from that. So then he starts talking to somebody else, and she's just worried that one day he's just gonna like up and be like, I'm dating somebody else, you're gonna have to move out. And so she'd rather have the upper hand and be like, you're not gonna play me, you're not gonna have me out here looking stupid. So I'm just gonna like play you, have you out here looking stupid, and I'm just gonna take the money you've given me and run. And listen, and I said, I feel it. I also said that I'm really sad that she's lost all her edges with this hairstyle. She's gonna have to take that shit out. How do you get that? How do you get those out? How do you get them out? Because it's ridiculous. Yeah, I kept meaning to do something with Nikki. It's just that like I have not been able to like chill and like set something up in a while. Like when I'm home, I'm just trying to get these videos out to you guys. Like I'm never in a place where I'm like, okay, I can plan this. So I do want to do something with Nikki. She knows that I've told her I wanted to do something with her. I just have not done it. I have not. And it's my fault. It's my bad. It'll happen. It'll happen. So anyways, she left. She left him. And I'm supporting it. Okay. But the way he said missed opportunities, yeah. It was annoying. I just, what do you mean missed opportunities? To find somebody else to tie you up? What does that even mean? It's ridiculous. Vicky Vale says he wants to break her back by thrusting. He wants to break her back by thrusting him night and day, and then put him in a straitjacket, and then not get paid for him playing Future Nightmare. Yeah. I get that. Yep. All gone. No hair. Stan's telling us we got to seize the moment. Oh, Veronica, hello. Au revoir? No. Bonjour? No. Hello. Hello. Oh, God. Yeah, we're definitely collabing in 2022. Yes. I will do that. I will get it together. I'll get my life together. 2022 for sure. It's just real hard with all this, with all the shopping. The shopping, with all the traveling is what I meant to say. Okay. Stan is an old man, so it would be missed opportunities. Jeez Louise, Stan. Okay, let's move on. Next couple that we're going to talk about, let's just move on to these two because honestly, they're high AF in this picture, and you guys were right. You guys were right. I was wrong. I was 100% wrong. I mean, not that I said that they weren't on drugs, but like they are high here. They are hella high here. Just like hella high. Just high as hella. Okay. And I feel so bad. I feel so bad for this situation. I feel bad for Nicole's mother too. What a disappointment. And Nicole even says herself that she just got out of prison and doesn't have anything, doesn't have a job, doesn't have a card, has nothing, and now she's going to get married. Girl. Okay, so this scene picks up where we find out that homegirl has got 2 tumors on her liver and has already lost a kidney. Yet we've seen her every single segment drinking Hennessy. If mama has tumors on her liver and 1 kidney, she's not heeding the doctor's directions to not drink. The liver is what processes the poisons in your body, and alcohol is considered a poison for the body. And so, like, it is just really sad to me that she was unable to do so, unable to put it down. So her and Nicole are in somebody's house, girl. I don't know if that's Nicole mama house. I don't know whose house that is, right? But she's like, you know what? Since I'm gonna have this surgery and I'm scared, I think we should get married. And Nicole's like, you can't think like that. Everything's gonna be fine. You can't think like that. Don't worry, you're not gonna leave me. And so then she agrees to marry Nicole, even though Nicole is like, I don't necessarily know if this is the right thing for us to do, but I'm happy. So Nicole agrees to it. And then she's like, oh, I can't wait to go wedding dress shopping. So mama goes wedding dress shopping. Okay. She comes out with this outfit on. And the wedding dresses are you know what I'm saying? It's nothing really to write home about. There was not one moment of it that was like, ooh, this is beautiful. I was just more so like, girl, I guess. And then she brought her mother there. And her mother was trying to be ooh and ahhing with her too. But I said, Mama, how are you going to support this union? How are you going to support this match made in like drug land? This match made in heroin? This match made in prison? Like, don't support this. But I guess what can you do? What do you do when your 18-year-old goes to prison for 4 years? What do you do? I mean, there's 2 outcomes. It's they come out and they're like Ray, and they're like straight and narrow, and they're like, I got to get my life together. I wasted 4 years of my life because I was fucking around in the beginning part of, of my the latter part of my teens. Or you have a situation like Nicole, where you see her using and abusing a man. You see her you see her being on drugs, maybe not, but definitely not getting a job. She already got a significant other. To me, that's a red flag. And you guys know I've said that. The same thing with Ray and Brandy. What's her name? Brittany. I'd be the same way. I think I'd just be like Ray's grandmother. Like, there is no reason for you to be jumping into a relationship right now. You have got to get your life straight, because when you're in a relationship, a lot of times you've got to pay a lot of attention to that other person. And really what you need to be doing is paying attention to yourself and your future. So I feel really bad for this mother, but she's trying to like do her best to support her daughter, because maybe she feels like if she doesn't support her daughter, then it's going to get worse. Or maybe she feels like she didn't support her daughter and do the right thing to begin with, which is why her daughter at 18 went to prison. But this is just such a disappointment. And I can't help but say that because like I'm from a family where like that would have been such a disappointment to go to prison for 4 years for something dumb, like stealing or run up people's houses because you were on drugs. Like I would be, girl, I can't even say it. I can't even speak to it. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I go through all this trouble to have this baby and this child ends up in and out of prison, I'm gonna feel real bad about myself. I'm gonna feel like I failed. Like, what did I do wrong? Whew, didn't protect my child from the world. My child was out in the world acting a fool. I know it happens, but like, girl, I would be so sad. Anyways, so she goes to the wedding dress shop, and then mama has a panic attack. And I feel bad for Nicole because I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And her mother's trying to tell her it's not like you have to marry her. You don't have to do this if you don't really want to. And so her mother's trying to walk her through this process. So somebody gave her a Belvita cookie. She's got water that she's drinking out of a thermos. And she's just having a panic attack while trying these dresses on. And I said, if you're having a panic attack, mama, maybe it's not for you. Okay, maybe this is not the opportunity. It's not the time for you. This is not This is not what is good for you in this moment. Nicole Roberts, thank you so much for the Cash App. I absolutely appreciate it. Thank you so much. I just saw it. My phone's on Do Not Disturb. So I want to thank you for that. Yay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me look at my emails. Did I get anything else so I can thank all you guys? If somebody sent me something else, I'll find it and thank you. Okay, so next scene we've got is Dante in his house. And he's trying to clean up before his mother comes over because he don't want his mother to talk about him in his dirty kitchen. Okay, Mama gets there and he's like, "Mama, what you got all this stuff for?" And she's like, "I came to cook you a meal because I know you was feeling real bad." Uh, oh, PayPal. Who did I get this from? Is this from Shannon Van? Hold on, I don't have my service. It'll tell me. And so she's like, "Hey, can I make you some food?" Shannon Van, thank you, girl. I appreciate it. Yes, testing. This is Wah. Yes, Shannon Van, it's me. It's me, girl. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anyways, so mother gets there and she starts to unpack stuff, and then she's like, "What's up with Nicole?" And he's just like silent. She's like, "If Nicole were to come back into your life right now, what would you do?" And then he's silent. So she's like, "See, that's the problem. That's the problem." And then his homeboy comes over, right? So homeboy comes over. They're sitting at the counter, and Mama's in the kitchen cooking up some ragu, right? Old world style, you know. And then mother, he's like, "Man, Nicole told me she's getting married." And the friend is peeping that Deante is trying to keep the conversation silent. But his friend, oh, so funny. The friend is like, "What? What did you say, Dante? You said Nicole, blah, 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 blah. She came to your job?" So the mother's like, "What? Huh? What'd she do that for?" And then the mother's like, "Stop the bus. Stop the dang bus. What'd she say that to you for?" Um, and then Dante says, "I think that means that she wants me to be at the wedding." Are producers telling Dante to say this stuff? Because he sounds real crazy. He sounds crazier than Googling cat culture in Turkey. Okay? He sounds crazier than a can of nuts. Stop the bus and stop the damn bus. Okay? He sounds like a lunatic. To say that her coming to his job to tell him that is getting married or got engaged, and that really means subliminally that he should show up at this wedding. I said, this man got his cape on. He got two capes on, okay? He got so many capes on. He's got a cape and a hammer, okay? He got a cape, a hammer, and a Batmobile. This man don't make no sense. This man don't make no sense. He got a cape, he's got a hammer, he's got a Batmobile. What is it? He got a Green Lantern. He has a time Infinity Stone. You know what I'm saying? This man thinks that he is a superhero. He got a whole T'Challa suit in the closet. This man think that he is a character from the MCN and the DC comic. He just in both worlds, just saving niggas in Gotham, saving them in Metropolitopolis, Wakanda. He's saving them in the like wherever Tony Stark lives. He is saving them all over these universes. Okay, he's saving them on Asgard. He's saving them everywhere. Wherever it is that Star-Lord is at, he's saving them there too. This man is ridiculous. I cannot stand him. He, just like Cheryl said, he is a delusional clown. It is like he is a crazy person. He is a crazy person. Woo! That one I want that. Wow, how hard would it be to have a son like Dante? It would break my heart to have a kid who wanted to love so much that he's fallen in love with nefarious women. I would cry myself to sleep. Girl, I like at that point I would just have to stay out of it. You can't tell me anything. Don't tell me any of your business. You just continue doing what you're doing. I mean, I'm always gonna offer my children therapy. I'm always gonna offer to help pay half of your therapy sessions. I'm always gonna, if I can pay the full thing, I'll pay that. But always will offer to pay half of it at least. Because I really do feel like the fact that he loves Nicole specifically is more about self-hate as well. Like it's self-hate too. Because she clearly is using him. He gave her $3,000 cash. I mean, Stan didn't even do that for Lisa. And got the money. So I don't even get it. Would you rather your child go to prison or be a clown like Dante? Oh, I'd rather him be a clown like Dante. No, 100%. In America, I don't know, Clementine, if you're in the US, but in America, black men already have a hard time. But black men who've been in prison have a harder time. It just is what it is. It's a harder time. So there's that. Someone needs to interview Mama Dante. We have some serious questions. Oh, you're in Switzerland. Sorry. But yeah, in the US, it does not bode well. It does not bode well at all. Y'all stop. I had to find my phone so I could comment. Dante is very open to suggestion, and he's a simp. That's all. Oh, you don't think he's a cape? You don't think he has a cape on? I kind of have a crush on him. Oh, he's cute. He's definitely very handsome. Which is why I'm just like, that sucks. It sucks that he is wasting. He like it sucks that there's a hardworking black man who has his at least a car and an apartment. It may not be the best of the both, but he has a car and apartment, and he wants to have a family and he wants to take care of a family. Like it's like I feel like I rarely hear this or run into black men who are so openly interested in love and marriage in a way that is very open. Like a lot of times, the rhetoric that I hear from black men, and I'm not saying that's the only thing that's out there, the one specifically that I hear is this idea of not wanting a gold digger, really consumed and concerned in that. And then yet wanting someone who's like demure and doesn't have like and lets you lead and be a man or whatever, as though like black women are just out here not letting men be men. Like it's just a lot of like negative rhetoric against black women, and to see someone who is so open and feelings on their sleeve. And also I honestly think that if I were in a relationship with Dante, I could have an honest relationship with him. I feel like whatever that bravado is that some black men have where they don't want to be considered a simp or they don't want to look weak, I feel like Dante doesn't have that. I feel like he would be able to have a conversation with me. Now whether or not he like mentally would be able to understand some of the complex concepts that I would be talking about is a whole other thing. But I really do think that he, to me, like Dante is a very sweet black man, and we don't have very much representation of sweet, open, like loving, wanting to be your partner, like type of black man. We don't see that much on TV, and the time we see it, he's running after some no good ass little white chick who only wants him for his money. But it feels like I don't know. It's just like It just sucks. It sucks that this kind of representation of black men that we rarely ever see is him running up behind some little idiot who doesn't love him. He's cute. All he has to do is get those eyes under control and blink, and we got something to work with. I mean, he does have good eyes. Like, even that. Who's Frankie says, right, he's slow, but I'm looking for my Dante in New Orleans. Hook me up if you see one. That's what I'm saying. Like, Dante's a good guy. And it sucks that his proclivities lean towards this little girl who isn't a good person. Dante seems like a young Tariq from 90 Day. They're both from the same area, I think. I think that he will end up bringing a chick from overseas who's scamming him. Ooh, very good point. I do feel the same thing about Tariq too. I like Tariq. I feel like I'd be able to have conversation with Tariq. I mean, and I love the fact that, moreover, I make fun of Tariq constantly, and he takes it with a grain of salt, and it will always be like, sis, I see you talking shit, but I you. I'm like, like, you know? Why you have a good heart, but after seeing this, he likes Barbies. What happened to the lady he went on the date with on the boat? The redhead, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It sucks that who he likes isn't going to appreciate that or understand that. And I feel like I feel like that happens to a lot of men. And I can't speak for other men. I can't speak for other races of men. It happens a lot to a black man because, like, they always want something that's like not black women, and then because they have a certain, like, I guess, idea of what black women are. Like, they wasn't raised by a black woman, and maybe their mothers weren't shit. But like, Dante's mother seems like a nice woman. I don't know. These are like black communities conversations. So let me just pull back from that. Let's move on. So anyways, let's see. Oh my God, we're at an hour and 24 minutes. I feel like we zoomed through the first three couples and then I slowed the heck down when I got over here. Okay. So then his friend outs him like that. Damn, we still have Sean and whatever her name began. So yeah, it looks like next episode he's going to run up on their wedding in a velvet red suit. Now, I'm not gonna be mad at this velvet red suit. I'm not gonna be mad at it. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not gonna be mad at it. I think it'll probably look really good with his skin tone. This burgundy red suit. All right, let's go on to our next couple. So we're talking now about Sean and Sarah. So we pick up where we left off last episode, where she has sprayed him with some water. And then he chases her outside, barely trying to get his shoes on as he's run up behind her. And she is like, leave me alone. He's like, wait, just wait. And she's like, I'm calling my mom. Sorry, wrong person. Now, I'm calling my mom. And he's like, no, don't call your mom. No, I was scared. I'm sorry. You're the only one now. She's like, I'm calling my mom. And he's like, wait, okay. We just need to cool down. We just need to think about what we're doing. Don't worry. Let's go back in the house. I won't touch you. I won't talk to you. You go in one room. I go in the other room. And then we'll talk when you're cooled down. Okay. And she's like, you lied to me. This is not what I wanted. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to take your bags. We're just going to go in the house. And she's just like, whatever. And then he starts to walk away. All of a sudden, they're no longer at the foot of their driveway, but they're like up the street somehow. Like, I think they had them reshoot this. It was weird. But anyways, so then she like snatches her suitcase from him because she's like, don't take my stuff. I don't want you to say that I owe you anything. I'll hold my own belongings. So he's like, okay. And then do I not have these pictures? Oh, shoot, I didn't grab these pictures. But anyway, so let me just tell you. So then he goes into his space on the couch. She goes into her space upstairs. And the next morning, she wakes up, puts makeup on. And I'm like, you expect me to believe that y'all didn't make up that night? I don't 100% believe. I 100% believe y'all had sex that night too. Okay. So anyways, she puts on her makeup. She comes downstairs. He pretends to get off the couch like he's been sleeping on the couch in those clothes all night. And then he makes her some breakfast. He's like, I don't know what you want to eat, so I just made a little bit of everything. So he makes her breakfast. They sit down at the table. And she's like, well, what else don't I don't know? What else don't I know? And he's like, that's it. And then he proceeds to throw Kelly under the bus. And listen, I'm Team Kelly all day, 100%, right? So he's like, he and Kelly don't get along and they're broken up 9 years ago and he has absolutely no feelings for her and that they just don't get along and that Kelly doesn't want Sarah around his kids because he doesn't quite because Kelly doesn't trust that, Sarah's past and her background. She doesn't want her kids around him. And so then she's just like, well, tell me more about your life. Like, tell me more. And he's just like, there's nothing really to tell. Things didn't work out with Destiny. And like just all this filler nonsense. And then he's like, you're right. I should have told you from the beginning. I should have just been honest with you, but I wasn't honest with you. Like now saying all the things that she wished to hear. And I'm like, oh God, this is so heavily produced. Like, bleh. But it's like, Sean's next statement is like, so why don't you just move in? And she's like, I don't think that that would be a smart thing to do at all. I just found out a lot about you that I didn't know. And so why would I move in with you? And he's just like, okay. But then he says in his confessionals that he'd be really disappointed if he moved all the way out here and then she doesn't move in with him and like have this life. And I'm just like, this seems like a setup. This seems like a scam. This seems like I'm giving you all this money, this attention. I'm trying to prove to you that I loved you. So I moved away from my 6 children in Vegas to be with you in Ohio. So you owe me. It's like, no, I don't owe you. I don't owe you. I don't owe you anything. I didn't ask you to do any of this. I didn't ask you to lie to me. I didn't ask you for nah. And now you want me to be responsible for your lies and your choices. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I just feel like it's really manipulative. And I don't like it. Jasmine, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for the Venmo. I appreciate it. Thank you. Did I say thank you? Oh, Dedra, thank you so much for the Zelle. Thank you. I appreciate it. Did I already say thank you to Nicole? Nicole Roberts? Thank you so much if I didn't already, Nicole. Thank you. I think I did. But thank you to you guys. Jasmine, Nicole, Shan in the van, or Shannon Van, and Dedra, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Oh, is that Jensen? Oh, look at him. Little cutie. So cute. Yeah, I'm like, Gia, welcome. I'm about to end, but welcome. Like, I just don't like it. It feels manipulative. And it feels like he's preying on women who don't have very much. And so he's offering something. And it's like, why wouldn't they accept all the gifts that I'm trying to give them? It's like, because you're going after women who don't have much. And it's the same thing Stan does. It's like you're going after women. I think they all kind of do this, right? They all are doing this. You're going after women who do not have much so that you can feel like a savior. You can feel like you pulled somebody out of a bad situation and you did it for them. And the only reason why I guess I don't feel the same way with John is because John was actually in prison himself, right? So it feels like John is just trying to give back to the community a little bit. John's been like 14 years in prison. That's a long ass time to have been in. Like, I also want to know what kind of support system John has, to where he spent 14 years in prison. And correct me if I'm wrong about the 14 years. 14 years in prison, yet he could come out and have a whole house and a whole life. Like, what is that? How is John able to come out of prison after 14 years and like have a whole house? I don't know. Yeah, I truly do feel like John is definitely doing community service. He's giving back to the people. Like, thank you, Miss Terry. Thank you. Can we put John on a? Can we put Dante on a dating show? You know, he would just pick somebody who's stupid. Who would? I feel like Dante does the same thing too, like going after women who are in prison because he wants to feel like a savior. He wants these women to, like, whether or not they admit the psychology behind it, is that you want to feel like a savior. And I know John is the same way too. Like, he definitely says that he's a fixer and that he, wanted this. But like, also, again, John was in prison too, so it's not like he doesn't know what this life is like. It does feel like more like community service. It does feel like he's giving back. But like, all of these people, you just want somebody who needs you. You want somebody who is indebted to you to a certain extent. Like, because there are plenty of bad boys and bad girls out there who have not been to prison. And it's hard when you come out of prison and you don't have much, but then you have that one person who's there to give you everything. But truthfully, if I were to get with somebody after prison, I could not let them just sit up in my house all day. Like, you don't have to go to your cousin's house. You have to go to your mama's house. And then once you get your shit together, we can then get an apartment together. You can come visit every once in a while, but you're not about to sit in my house. I just can't do it. Mm-mm. A lot of these men just want a certain amount of control. When I got sober, my ex got angry with me because he felt like I didn't need him as much anymore. He admitted it. Yeah, I feel like a lot, but I feel like it's both genders though. They just want the control. John's fam supports him. His dad owns the company he works at. Oh, really? Huh. Karen says, I know we are not on Lacy. We are not on her, but Lacy is verbally, emotionally, mentally abusive to that boy. And she mad that she is her own karma. I could believe that. We all know it's the same network umbrella. Put Dante on the single life. Oh. But the single life is like, oh no, it is. It's just okay, I can see it happening. I can see it happening. It's just the same producers. It's just Matt Sharp. Predator? Predictor in disguise is what it is. They also won the gratitude sex. I do agree. Random, but I just want to say all the men on this show are low grade, and Ray is the best one character wise, at least. I think so too. I agree. I know we don't want to talk about Quaylon, but I feel like Quaylon is probably pretty good too. And I feel like he just bit off more than he could chew. I do feel bad about that whole situation, but I think he bit off more than he could chew. Sitting in the house ordering from Amazon. Oh, girl. What was that name? Anissa? And Jeff? Absolutely not. With no teeth, can't do it. Who's Sammy? Same as Sammy. Pulled in a big van and Tia too. She pulled up in a maroon colored BMW at the restaurant. Oh, really? Let me see that. I miss Lamar. Don't we all miss Lamar? But we don't miss Andrea. We miss Lamar, Tennyson, and Nyla. And the other one, Priscilla. We do not miss Andrea and her antics. She did what she needed to do to get her screen time on this show. And I am happy we don't see her anymore. Dante would be like that, the other fool on 90 Day Fiance who traveled to Russia and the woman stood him up. Oh, Caesar. Caesar is still milking his 15 minutes of his 90 seconds of fame, if you will. Okay, you guys. Oh, I'm ready to take makeup off, get back in the bed. Okay, I'm ready to get back in the bed. I should wash my clothes. Is what I should do. I got all night to wash clothes. All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you so much, Nikki Star, if you're still in the room, for joining us today on a today. Y'all have a fantastic. Oh, I'll see you tomorrow. I was gonna say have a fantastic week, but I'll see you tomorrow for 90 Day Fiance if I can catch it. Somebody was telling me I need a VPN. You're right. I just don't know how to do all that. Then I'd have to Google it. You guys know I don't like to Google stuff, so we'll figure it out. We'll see what we can do. Maybe this TV in here gets 90 Day Fiance, and I'll just have to watch it with commercials. With commercials. Thank you guys. Oh, wait, what? Speaking of Quaylon, you see that she got a BBL? She ain't get her boobs done though, and her neck's still short, but she out here thinking she's a 10. Well, I don't even know how I would find her on this here app. Shannon Van, I got the rest of it. Thanks, girl. I'm back. You're right. I did dip out in 2020. That's true. I did. All right, you guys. Have a fantastic evening. Or what time is it on the West Coast? It's 1. Oh, you guys have the rest of your day. It's 4 p.m. here. Y'all have a fantastic Saturday. I will see you tomorrow for 90 Day Fiance. I'll do my best to watch it. I'll try to figure that out. And then I'll see you for the family Chantel on Monday. But yeah, you guys have a fantastic evening. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Whew. She tired.